Yay, we're live. It's James speaking, trainingsites.io. Let's see what happens here. Give a couple minutes to get everyone on, see what's going on. The whole gist of these calls, if you haven't been on them before, this is a open classroom kind of deal. You can ask me anything that you want to about starting, building, or growing an education business. I just want to make sure we got some sound on the other pieces here. There we go. We're all set. Again, these are live sessions. I don't have any staff or anything here with me. It's just me with a couple computers and a couple monitors, and of course, a microphone, and my trusty Instant 360 webcam that does some really cool stuff that I really like. So, if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat. I'll answer them as best I can. Hey, Craig, welcome for coming on. Scotland, excellent. Excellent. Perfect. Nice to have you here. What time is it? I think you're 5 hours, right? So it's supper time there. I'm Eastern Standard Time. So thanks again for coming on. And again, if you have anything that you want to cover, whether it be AI related or campus building or processes or tools, that kind of stuff, I'm here to answer any of the questions. And if you haven't been at trainingsites.io over the last little while, maybe I'll just go for this just and see if anyone comes on. One of the things that, and again, if you haven't joined already, please go and join. It's absolutely free for you to join the campus, the community. One of the things that I've been spending a lot of time on personally is creating more recipes and or tools that you can use in your education business to help people out. And it's asking me to log in. So I just tried to restart my machine actually beforehand. So let's see what happens. I better do this too, just while we're waiting. Um, it does require actually a login to log in. And I use a tool called First Password or One Pass. I think it's called First Password. And I closed the browser beforehand, so it's going to ask me basically to log into that beforehand, which I'm going to do so I don't break anything in the meantime. So what do we got there? Just while I'm waiting to get that logged in, and Craig's asking, 6 p.m., perfect. Conversation about agentic course creation. Yes, we can definitely talk about that. Um, and if you have some specific examples or ones that you want to look at, I'm more than welcome to actually go through and could maybe play around with that and play around with it. Recipes, scenarios, and workflows. Yeah, that would be a cool one. And that's actually the interest that I have personally as to what's happening in this whole space, which I think is exciting for everyone that has traditionally been creating courses. The playing field, I'm just getting logged in on another screen here. The playing field has really changed for everyone in this course space. So I'm kind of excited about it, where it's the learners that are creating the content, not necessarily the instructor. So here's kind of what I've been working in the background, and these ones to start off with. And this one kind of gets into that agentic course creation. But I've been creating a number of custom GPTs over the last little while that do part of this task of creating content for the users like you guys. But the point that I'm trying to get across here is I'm creating some custom GPTs and I'm showing you how to create them, because I think if you're in the education space, there are processes or things that you do on a regular basis that you can teach your users how to do with custom GPTs and be able to bypass what was traditionally a course that was just, here's my content, or here's some information for you to read. So, I think this whole microtization, I don't know if the word is, but just this whole micro software as a service or micro prompting or things like that. So it's a little more pick and choose um, as requested or as needed by the learner. That's the part that is kind of interesting. So let me just see here. How many people did we end up having come on here? And again, remember, this is something that if you do have questions, please put them in. I will show you right now, I'll show you a couple things that I was working on that I'm not quite there yet because I don't know how to do it, but I'm learning how to do it. And when it gets done, I'll obviously show you and kind of move forward. So here's the first one. And let me just, I think my actual camera has disappeared here. There we go. It's missing on the other one. So hopefully I'll bring that back. here's the thing that I've been working on. I've been calling it agentic courses for lack of a better word. And what an agentic course is it is a application that allows the learner to request what it is that they want to learn about, how they want to learn it, and the agentic application or the AI tool basically creates the content just like you would normally do, but spits it out and makes it available for them to learn. So I had originally set one up where someone put in, say, hey, I want to learn how to do podcasting. So, what it did is say, tell me what you want to learn about. And then it was, what are some keywords or what was the outcome that you wanted? What are some of the questions you had? And then basically it created a course, and the learner had the option between saying, I want 4 to 6 lessons. I want it to be in depth, or I want it to be a quick overview. I don't want any quizzes. And it basically walked people through so that they go through that. And it created the content. So it's not you as the teacher being able to do that. It's the student being able to do it. However, they get personalized content, but that doesn't mean they're going to apply it or implement it. And that's where we come along. And I think where the big opportunity is for all of us that are in the education space, where we're able to actually work on that now when we weren't in the past. So I just want to make sure I got my desktops open here so that we're in the same place. And I'll see if I can get my screen back working where my head shows up. There we go. Okay, it's working. So that's kind of the first one. Cozy mystery writer. Perfect. Thanks for coming on. Agentic course on how to write cozy mystery from ideation to self-publishing. We could actually kind of do one if you wanted to. Been following and okay. So I just want to make sure paid direction, new direction, taking maybe new community direction. Okay. So let me just go and make sure that we're, I want to make sure that we're on these ones there. Okay. So let me just show you one of the ones that I've created with the agentic courses kind of first. And you can see basically what I was doing. Now, there's a couple different ways of doing this. You might have heard the term called vibe coding. That's one that is going around. And that's where the software programmers or the developers basically talk to the AI tool, and the AI tool does all of the code in the background. And there's 3 of them that I played around with. I'll show you the first one that I did, and I'll make this one available to you. This one is called V.0, I think is the one. Yeah, there we go. Just make sure, I'm going to put this one into a search for it. There it is, by Vercel. So this is one, basically an interface, and you basically just say, hey, this is what I want to create, and it'll create an app for you. And I played around with one here as a project. Just going to open this one up. And basically what happens with this one, I'll make sure that you can see I've got it a couple times here. I've been playing around with it. This one isn't necessarily perfect, but you'll get the idea of what's happening here. There we go. Just going to try and open this one so that you can actually see it, and we'll run through one. So this is basically missing environment variables. That's okay. So this one was basically saying, let's create a course. And I had set this one up originally where you could use Vimeo videos. The idea was that you could use YouTube videos or anyone's. I just use Vimeo videos because I knew I had them. But if I could put a Vimeo video in here just as a reference point, and then it would create the course from the video Vimeo. And I also had playlists or multiple ones. So let me just see if I can pull this one up here. I'll pull my Vimeo account open. And I think that's the other thing too, is, if you do it and you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to create a course about this, you can use YouTube videos or Vimeo videos, but you can also say, hey, I have a library of my own videos. I want the student to create a course, but based on my videos. It doesn't have to be YouTube. That was just an example that was going through there. So let me just, want to look for one that makes sense so that we can actually see it. And I think I had it in Team Library. One was called Test. Yeah, so I'm just going to take some of these videos here. I'm just going to take some examples of it. I'm going to copy the link to this one. We'll open it up, and I was just basically putting it in. There's a Vimeo link, one of them. I'm going to put another one in. We'll copy that link and put that one in. So hopefully you can see this okay. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. But I put 2 in. I could have put 10 in. In my case, I did, and I just said I want to learn to create online courses from YouTube videos. And that's what the videos were about, right? And then I had some course preferences. So this is the learner doing this, not you as the instructor, but the learner. So I want it to be modular, or comprehensive. I want it to be at let's say we'll do it at a beginner level. I want to make sure it's structured. So I got to take them in style. I want it to be balanced or detail. Do I want some quizzes in the length? So, and then create personalized style. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is the one that works, but the idea was that it goes and takes a look at the Vimeo videos or the reference material that I provided, and it's going to create a course based on that to answer the question that I had as a learner. So hopefully this is the one that works. Creating a course structure, course content with AI. Again, I haven't done this. In this case, I had Gemini Flash 2.0 hooked up to it. It's creating all the content that's here, and hopefully still creating the course. There we go. I have a course created. So I didn't do this. It was created for me. Lesson 1 is course creation foundations, creation and love. And you can see that I've actually got here the lesson, the video, and the notes. In my example here, unfortunately, this one was set to privacy on, but the part that's interesting is that it won't display, but you'll see right here where my mouse is moving, that is the timestamp. Section covers 2 to 4 of the original, and the video is set for 2 minutes there, and then any notes. So that created that content for me based on an application that I created. So I don't have this working the way I wanted it yet. That's why it hasn't been created. Um, I would hope by the end of the week that I will be able to do this. And you guys can do the exact same thing too. Or for me, maybe what I'll do is end up selling this tool as a microservice. And if you want something to play around with where this is kind of uh, exciting for all of us, is this one here. This one is called Firebase. It's from Google, and this is where I'm actually doing kind of the same project. And I was calling it Course Genius, and that particular one goes through. This does hosting. Everything from start to finish works the same way. So I think this is where things are going, and whether it's 3 months from now or 6 months from now, we have to be prepared. My personal belief is that kind of where the focus is for me is creating tools that allow the students to be able to consume the content that they need or want to consume because it's personalized to them, and then us being available to do live teaching, to do cohorts, to do mentoring, to provide tools that allow them to learn what it is that they need to learn based on our processes. That's the real opportunity. So hopefully that kind of gives a framework where I'm at. Where I'm thinking of this, of course, is it's how can I create, or what are the number of different tools that I can create as fast as I can create to be able to make it easy. And the 2 that I just published, again, these ones are available to you, was one that creates the titles and the thumbnail text for all the videos that I do. And I did another one here that's available to you, this one right here. This is a custom GPT for getting ready for Zoom calls. I do 1 to 2, sometimes 4 Zoom calls a day, and it's kind of hard with all the stuff to get ready for them and organized and make sure that I have that. So please go try them out for yourself. These links are ready and available for you, and just play around with them and then start thinking, well, how can I actually use this for what I'm doing with my customers, and then start creating them. You can give them away as lead generation. You can sell them or monetize them. We've got a whole bunch of different options there. So That's kind of where that space is. I still think, and this is why I talk about building a privately branded campus, is your ability to have a community or a group of people that are interested in this. That's the other kind of part that is really a business, not the creation of the content. If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully that kind of helps. Craig's looking at N8N to create a course creation workflow. Absolutely. That's the other piece that is interesting. And there is one, I'll share another one with you that is similar to N8N or Course AI. This one I found out about yesterday. This one is called Lindy.ai. Let me just do one. Yeah, so this one's called Lindy.ai, and I'll put the link for you. This is a neat one because it creates agent swarms is what it does. So basically it allows workflow similar to 8NN, but instead of you having to automate the agents, it allows you to have agents that are built that work with other agents or in concert with them. So it kind of takes a step up from 8NN. And an example is a YouTube video by URL. So instead of creating an ADIT in like a step-by-step automation, it has these ones like a Zapier for AI agents and basically connects them together. So that's kind of a cool one. And they have a ton of templates that are available for you to kind of play around with. So that's one's, Craig, to just kind of keep in the back of your mind to play around with. Recipes, scenarios, workflows. Yeah, I think that's kind of the cool part for all of us. You know, when you think about that is our job is to get people to ask questions now, not create the content, but get them to create the questions that we know come up because we've been doing it for a while and guide them to getting the answers that they need to get the result that they need. So uh, discount code to join your paid community. Craig, funny that you mentioned that. I'll go over that kind of at the end, but that's something kind of I'm still experimenting with, but I'm pretty comfortable with now. I have a package that is available if you want to join the community. And the idea for me in all of this is that, hey, if you want some hands-on help, or you want to work on implementation with me on a regular basis, that's the kind of thing that I'm including. So who else has got some questions? Let me know. What else do you want to talk about? Or there we go. Cozy Mystery Writer. So you were talking about employing an agentic course on how to write a cozy mystery from ideation to self-publishing. Okay. Free YouTube content has been the blueprint starting create. Okay, cool. So actually, Cozy Mystery Writer, do you have a topic that you wanted to write a book about? Give me a topic and we'll just see if we can create a custom GPT to actually do that for you, to create a particular document. And I don't know if that's the best way of doing it, but I'll just give you an example how you might want to create a custom GPT to actually do that for you. What else we got here? Craig. Firebase, yeah, you're using Firebase. Amazon buckets for all the course videos. Yeah, absolutely. I got Vimeo. I got Amazon buckets for there too. Sport mentoring. There we go. Cozy mystery writing. Okay. Yeah. So what do we want to do here? What would be a good mystery? Like, give me a title. How about writing the depth? Okay. Actually, give me a title because I don't know how this is going to work. We're actually going to create a custom GPT and we'll see what happens for this. And this is actually a video that I did earlier. I haven't published, but the actual process for doing that. And again, this is one of those ones where you have to decide, is this something that you want to do as a custom GPT that is kind of a process that guides through people, or do you want it actually as kind of a service that you're using, writing the depth? So just trying to see which one that would be a good example of actually using. Has anyone if you've used custom GPTs or do you want to see me do that, well, give me a thumbs up and let me know. I'll open it up so that we can play with that and you actually see what happens. So what do I want to do with this? I'm just going to open up some pages. And if you haven't seen it before, creating custom GPTs are available I think it's still if you have a paid account with ChatGPT. And again, a custom GPT is just a focused or task specific GPT that's about one particular thing. So if we want to do it on how to write effective red herrings in cozy mysteries, I don't know. Let's find out if that works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and right now kind of build a custom GPT about creating mystery novels or mystery books. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's actually see what happens. And this is kind of something just to consider whenever I'm doing any of these, anything that's related to prompting. I have a whole bunch of different prompting frameworks if you know that I did originally. And I'll just show you. These are all available to you, by the way. There's a whole bunch of prompting frameworks that I use, like Teach Prompting Framework when you're creating courses. You know, I have hundreds of different prompts here to play around with them. The thing that I find myself doing now, even though these are great prompts and they're set for specific tasks, what I end up doing is actually asking ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. I basically ask them to create the prompt that I should use beforehand. And I find that that's been working pretty well for me. So that's kind of what I try and do. So let's go and take a look, and I'll do a brand new chat. Hopefully you can see the size here on this one. Let me know if it's too big or too small, and then we'll go from there. So on this one, I'm just going to say, I just want to say custom GPT. What was the actual piece that we said just before that, Craig? What was it about? Um, Mystery writer. So I'm just going to go and make sure. So, uh, write a cozy mystery from, yeah, okay. So I want to create a custom GPT that writes cozy mystery stories. And I'm going to do the word story. You know, you can do the exact same thing here. Um, Cozy one sitting mystery stories. So basically I'm saying, hey, I want to create this. I'm just going to say, help me create, or you can say create. So basically I'm just saying, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to create a custom GPT. What is it we can actually do with it? And it'll go pick it up, give us a little bit more information, and we'll go through it here and basically see what it says. And this is the one that it comes up with right away that I've seen, is it will say, hey, what are the things that you want it to do, or what are the core capabilities of your cozy mystery GPT? And then it gives an idea where a prompt, a full story or short story. Do you want it for one reading, or do you want it bigger or smaller? And again, you can play around with these characters, setting building, light conflict only, series planner, a prompt structure, and then tools and sample one sitting prompt. So this basically gives you everything you need to create a basic GPT and run through it. And what I end up doing from these is I will basically have a conversation and say, hey, can you add this? Or I want it to do this. Or I end up, when I have something there, I just say, is this the best that you can do? Are there other things that I should be considering? And when it finally gets put together here the way that you want, notice what it says at the bottom. Want me to format this as a JSON that you can use in the GPT editor to create your custom GPT? Or would you like help turning this into a downloadable prompt guide or starter story template? I'm just going to say, create the JSON file and a downloadable prompt guide. So I'm going to put this in. The other thing that I've done with this space is, while this is running in the background, the other thing that I've done in this space is that I will play them off on each other too. I may use this in custom GPT, like in ChatGPT, but I may do this work in Gemini 2.5 or in Claude, uh, and then bring it in and say, this is what I want to do. What do you think of it? Is there anything that you've used in one tool that can be used in a second tool and make things be a little bit easier? Analysis error. There we just go. And it's giving me an error right there. Let me see if it can pull this out. And I'm going to say it's fixing it, going through. So I've had this happen a couple times too. And then sometimes I just say, hey, give me the output the JSON file for me, and I'll cut and paste it. So it's giving me a couple little arrows there, and we'll go through that. So we'll let this work in the background. Who else is on? Oh, Big Mick here. Can you link to the custom GPTs using N8N or Lindy? Sure. Uh, Fire. All right. So these are the links, and I'll make sure to put them below after. The one for Lindy is lindy.ai up at the top here. That one's lindy.ai, and they call them Lindies, what they are on these ones. Let me see if I have some. They have a couple examples. Here's some of the templates just while that's waiting in the background. So these are ones, for example, templates where they've already got like the things in N8N that you have to do the individual steps. They've got these already created. So for example, as a feedback survey agent or a podcast to blog agent. And you can start basically stringing these agent to agent together as opposed to organizing the individual or custom agents. So they have a whole bunch of these ones put together, and then you can basically go through and connect them and have it do stuff in the background for you. So that's a kind of a neat one called Lindy. And the integrations, again, all sorts of different ones that are already put in directly with other tools. And I'm not mistaken that they have hundreds of those particular tools now available. So again, think of it as just something like Zapier. Like we've these ones here, like got Aircall, Airtable. Um, I think they have things like Notion, all of the different ones. Amazon SES. There, Craig. So we've got that one where we can connect to Amazon SES, a simple email service, and I believe they have S3 for the small simple storage. And again, you can see there's just hundreds of those particular tools that are running there. So let's see what's happening in our background here. We've got our cozy mystery put together. Result. There we go. So hopefully you can see this. I've got my JSON file and the mystery guide. So let's just open this one up and it'll give me a download file to put in. And I'll just put it here for now so that I have it. And it's got this JSON guide. So I'm going to download this one too. And we'll put it in the same place. And I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm ready to create my custom GPT. And if you're not familiar with the custom GPTs, I'm just going to make sure we've got the editor link. And again, I'll make this one available for you. I think it is. Let's actually do, just going to go to the editor. I think it says, I'll put the link here. Yeah, there it is. So this one is chatgpt.com/GPTs editor. And in my case, I'm just going to create one. And it basically says, hey, can I build one for you? What would you like to make? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload the file that I just uploaded, the JSON file, and put it in. And hopefully this one works. There's no errors in it. I'm going to say create the attached GPT, and hopefully it'll be able to pick it up and create it for us. So this is kind of happening in the background. We'll turn it on after and see if we can actually have it create a novel. It's asking if I can link more than one custom GPT together. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. It might be something to kind of play around with. And let's take a look at. So there we go. Great document insight assistant. Let's call it. Just call it Cozy Writer for now. We should get it there refreshed. And profile picture. This is the other thing that's kind of happened in the background. When I originally did this, you had to manually upload some kind of thumbnail. It actually is doing it now. And there we go. There's the nimble one. Do we want to change it? No, it's done. And we've got a preview, so let's go and see what happens. Make it anyone with the link. And let's take a look and see what happens here. Done that as well. Generate, have 4 AIs open when ideating. Okay. So have you actually done this one to actually create it? Let me just reload, see if we can get this to work. Logged in. Oh, maybe I didn't actually do it, so. See if we can get it to actually go. Well, that's kind of sad that it didn't work. Let's go and see my account here, my GPTs. Not found. Ensure you're logged in. Correct GPT workspace request, if it exists. Well, that's a bit of a downer. Don't want to do that one. My apologies for this. Of course, it worked earlier. Maybe it didn't get saved. Oh, okay. That was a bit of a bummer. Don't know what happened to that one. We'll take a look at it and see. I'll let it sit for in the background for a little bit and see if we can get that to do. Okay, what else do we got here? Any more questions? Put them in. Google Studio Firebase, even better, creating our code-free app now. Yeah, absolutely, Craig. That's the one that I've been playing around with. And I'll tell you the one issue that I'm having with all of these kind of tools is not necessarily in the tool or creation of the idea. The part that I'm personally having trouble with is getting things like the authentication and the AI tool access to it. So whenever you're creating any of these agents or these agentic things for creating content, a lot of times it's like you have to hook up uh, an API in Google for doing a login, or an API to access YouTube videos, or to access Vimeo videos, or access an Amazon account. And most of the troubles that I've run into is not the content creation, but getting the APIs basically to talk to each other. And these things just came out last week, so I'm sure they'll get better with it, and we'll be able to, be creative and say, what are the things that I need to create, and how can I not create the content for people, but create the tools available for them to create their own kind of content. So any other questions here? Okay, hopefully, no worries. Sometimes best learning comes from why it didn't work. And of course, I was using this morning and it worked perfectly. And it looks like this one kind of died on us. So that's unfortunate. Didn't get created or didn't get refreshed. Yeah, it looks like it's missing in action. So unfortunate. But you get the idea. You'd be able to do that and walk through and do a couple iterations of it. One of the things that I found is that when you start doing them, you start either adding stuff to them, or you ask the tool like ChatGPT, saying, this is the one that I have. What can I do to improve it? And again, it's not you necessarily having to come up with all of the big ideas on all the functionality, but it's a chance for you to be creative and just go, hey, this would be something that I use, but my customers or the people in my campus use, or a task that they do on a regular basis. So yeah, it's a big problem, the API and authentication. I think that's going to be, once they get that stuff a little bit easier done, that's going to be the really cool part. And I think Firebase, I did a video a while ago about how I thought Google was kind of going to win the AI wars. And the reason I said that is because they're bringing all of these pieces together from the AI side to the developer side now, and to the suite of tools that we use in Google Workspace. So it's coming together, but they're not quite there yet. I think it's going to be really cool. And again, a huge opportunity if you're in this education space or the content creation space. It's not about, I don't think it's about you creating the content anymore. Fortunately or unfortunately, if you have that years of experience and you're missing some of the stuff up top, Having being able to share it and know the questions that usually come up or the challenges that come up, people will end up paying for that because there'll be value in it there. So um, we have Lovable and V.0 and Firebase for no code apps. Yeah. And if you hear the term, you might hear the term vibe coding. Um, I almost played around and called this like vibe courses. And basically what it is it's text to software is what it is. And we're now getting to the point now where we're doing text or description of course to content. And that's, the neat part of it is using a description, having it create a course. But I think, kind of the next step is it's just because we use the text, as all of these AI tools and stuff become more exciting and easier to use for regular people, there's nothing stopping someone from going to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to create a course to learn how to podcast. I want to create a course to learn how to play pickleball. I want to create a course that teaches me how to write novels. Um, and these tools are basically going to create that. But if they have questions, they're going to want to be able to talk to someone, and that's where kind of we come in to it. So, Vibe courses, agentic courses that agent access to all of the data and organizing it for people quickly. Again, really cool place, and it's happening quickly that we have to, I think we have to be ahead of it. And if you're not, you can, like, a lot of times when I'm talking about this stuff, people go, are you anti-course? No, I'm not anti-course, but they need to fit into a business now. A course business is not a business. It's a content delivery mechanism that for the most part is about getting people to remember or recall things. It's not about the implementation of it or the application of the content, which everyone has access to now. So I think it's always a little bit more. That's why I call it a campus. It's a place to go and learn. And for me specifically, what I'm trying to do here and why I have all the classes on a regular basis is every week I'm trying to spend some time and make sure that, hey, every morning for 15 minutes, we have a call to say, hey, what are you working on today? Once a week, we have an implementation session where we'll actually sit in and spend some time going through things, usually in the 4 different parts of an education business, which is kind of the research and business model and all of the business stuff about making sure that you have an actual business, about creating your campus, about creating the content, and then marketing your campus. So we usually pick one of those 4 areas and work on stuff once a week for an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long it takes to do that. So being available, for me, being available, I do have other people that help me that will always be available. I also have a private messaging set up for people who are part of the campus builders that are part of this. And the other thing that I'm playing with, and I'll do a little recap at the end. This is kind of the sales hat on. The one part that I am starting to do, and I think what I might end up doing, is I'm including the software to run these campuses in that paid membership. And what that means is you'll be able to basically set up a campus just like this. I do have an agency we have hosting servers. So what I think I might do is basically do turnkey kind of setups like this so you can focus on the teaching part and not the running of it. So that's kind of the thing I'm playing around with in my head. Right now, the software to run your campus is now included if you decide to go and upgrade to the Campus Builder program, which is the one that we actually do the live sessions on a regular basis. And if you haven't looked, it's trainingsites.io/pass. There's my little bit of a sales hat on, and some of the different tools and pricing and what you get is there available for you. So let me just take a look and see what else do we have here for questions. Platform, yeah, platform typo. Hey, thanks for letting me know. I'll have to go and check that one out. Calling me new platform. That's a good question. I the whole idea when I started this was the idea of a learning space or a campus, but that was an AI time when I was doing that. That's something that's becoming obviously more and more prevalent. It's happening quickly, hard to keep up with, and it's a difference between a community and a place where you actually learn. I think there's a differentiation there. You'll hear the word community, but a community doesn't imply necessarily that there is any kind of teaching going on there. It's a place to get together for people to interact and learn from each other, but there's not specific outcomes that are regularly practiced necessarily or taught during the individual session, whether it be from someone within the actual community or the person that owns the community. So I kind of play around with campus and I look at it as personally branded. In terms of business models for me, oh, good. Thanks, Craig, because I was going to go, where the heck did I make that typo error? Yeah, so my personal gist for business models here, and again, take it or leave it. This is what I've seen after 25 years, is YouTube is for finding and building your audience. If you have an audience, the goal is to get them to be part of your community in your campus. And then from there, your job is basically to monetize them through a whole bunch of different means other than selling a course. I give away my courses and I don't call them courses necessarily anymore because I would rather people to teach people how to create their own course to answer their own questions, to get a personalized answer that they want. And me to spit out content, I find it's pretty hard to do it. And now it's basically out of date before I even, actually publish it. So, courses, content, libraries, that kind of thing, that's where I focus on. But in terms of monetizing, it's something past the content. So I look at not as a sales funnel, I look at it as a bit of a triangle. It's like, hey, I got to make sure that I have my solid foundation, which is my YouTube audience. I want to bring people into my community, and then I want to either mentor them or coach them or provide services to them that I spend the time monetizing. And I would much rather work with a fewer number of people than having to go out and buy ads and do all sorts of social media to get people into some kind of funnel and to monetize them. So again, that's kind of where my thing is. And now what's happening is custom GPTs and apps doing small pieces of that are kind of or can replace a lot of what we did actually with content, is basically saying, hey, you want to create a book? Here's how to do it. You want to be able to create YouTube videos? Here's how to do the title and thumbnail. You want to be able to get ready for your sales calls? Here's how to get ready for your Zoom calls. And it's based on my knowledge or my expertise and whatever the AI tool happens to be trained on. So, yeah, there we go. Craig, you're saying you're preaching to the converted here, man. So, uh, I got a ton of this stuff in my head and I can't get it out fast enough. I try and do 1 or 2 videos today, a day that I publish on YouTube. I've done 4 videos already today. And it's about all the experience that I have and the stuff that I'm doing on a regular basis. I'm a big fan of capturing digital exhaust in whatever quality that is, but having it as a live edit on the fly, truly authentic thing. And if people like it, they do. And if they don't, that's fine too. Just capture it and try and organize it and curate it so that it helps people in whatever form that happens to be. And I think now capturing it and having it as part of your assets that these agentic tools are pulling from. And I think someone called that a RAG before, or retrieval augmented generation. Having your library on the simple storage system on Amazon where you've got 500 videos, or you have a library of videos on Vimeo, or you've published 400 videos on YouTube. And if you create tools that use those as references, that is your information that anyone can use when they create their own courses and their own content. So I'm uh, I'm all on board, Craig. I think that's exactly where it's going. That's what I'm focusing on, and that's what I'm telling the people who are interested in building an education business. That's kind of the space to be. Is it early yet? Yeah, of course it's a little bit early. Is it perfect yet? No, it's not there. But from what I've seen in the time frames here, if someone says this is going to be a couple years before it's available, I'm betting before the end of the year, we're going to have people using these tools to create courses quickly. And if you're being taught right now to, to basically film your own videos and write out a script and get a studio set up and all of that stuff and send it off to a video editor and those things, um, there's going to be some real problems for you in terms of cost, but also in the time it takes to actually create that content. If you figure I got a content, I'm going to, create a traditional course. I'm going to put it all together, and I'm going to be able to sell it in 3 months. Just think about what's happened in those 3 months. Just think what's happened in the first 3 months of this year already. So that's kind of the space that I'm in right there. Cozy mystery writer. Yeah, thanks for doing that. What I'll do, um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that one that we just did, that custom GPT that I did for you, and I will put it up in the community and we'll actually see if it worked. And I'll share it with you. I think I can share it with you, or I'll give you the JSON file anyway, so that you can create it and play around with it and see what happens. And there's just an example of someone who wants to teach how to create mystery novels or write mystery stories. It's like you could provide that and then provide support to people that are writing it and they go, well, this isn't what I wanted, or how can I do this? And you can work with them, whether that be in a group or one-on-one, and be able to help them get what it is that they particularly want. So um, maybe you could hot me up. I believe you can ask it with qualification in your community. I'm starting to be open in that I haven't started doing live streams with other people. And what I'm saying, Craig, is if you have stuff that you're working on right now, um, don't be afraid to go and put it in the wins and celebrations. If you're working on stuff, this is exactly what I want you to do now. If you're working on stuff, put it in the wins and celebrations. Just say, hey, this is what I did. This is what I created. Go take a look at it. I don't want this to be all about me. If you've got stuff that you're working on, connect with other people. Ask other people for feedback here. Show the links to the content that you have that you're creating and working on. This is a chance for all of us to start teaching the stuff that we know as we know it. Of course, I don't want you to go out selling stuff and turning this into some kind of place where you're promoting everything. But if you've got ideas, don't be afraid to say, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is how it works. Give me some feedback. Here's a link to it. I'm game with that. So go ahead and certainly do that. Put it in the wins and celebrations, which is in the study hall on the left-hand side here. And if you run into tools, if you're using N8N as an example and you've done something or want to share it or you have questions, just go to the tools and resources, say, hey, this is something that I'm using. What do you think of it? Have you ever been able to do this, or have you ever been able to use this before? And that's something that I'm all in on having available. So there we go. Any other questions? What else is going on here? Who else has got questions, stuff that they want to talk about? What do we got here? Before. Again, these are all live sessions. I just have myself here and a couple screens and a couple computers. So if stuff does get mucked up a little bit or off to the side, my apologies, and we'll kind of work through that. Um, I haven't done a great job. This is my what's the word I'm looking for? This is me being upfront, and one of the things that I'm working on here personally, and I'm just talking about it because of Craig, what you were just talking about, is I have not, I have an automation that I have set up that automatically onboards people, and it's like 12 or 15 kind of emails that go out over the first 60 days kind of thing after someone signs up. That's all automated, and what I try and do is get people to go through the different pieces of the sites. What I have not done well, and what I'm working on personally, and like I've done this in the past, but I'm doing it a different way for here, is in terms of engaging or challenging the people that are in here. I've done an awful job of actually doing that. So one of the other custom GPTs that I built that I'll probably publish in the next little while is basically a custom GPT that helps anyone who's got a community to have a strategy and or prompts and or content to add to engage the community on the topic that you want on a schedule. So, coming up with ideas for what's the challenge of the week, or what's the challenge of the day, or how do you create prompts that get other people engaged in putting stuff into the events and announcements, or wins and celebrations. That's the other piece that's kind of working on. I'll publish that one maybe today or tomorrow so that you can see it, and then I'm going to be using it. It's something that I'm using internally for myself. And if you have any kind of community, getting people to stick around and get engaged, that's part of having your own personally branded campus, or that space where you have a captive audience that you want to be able to monetize at some point, and not do it kind of as a hobby. So Cozy Mystery Ready, got a meeting, no problem. Thanks for there. Hey, there's Martin. Thanks, Martin, for coming on. We'll have a chat after, because I got a whole bunch of great ideas for you that I want to go over some stuff. There we go. So Craig, I'm in there. I'll send you a little message. Yeah, definitely come in. If you do have stuff, don't be afraid to put it into parts of the study hall. Share what it is that you're doing. I'd love to, learn about that as well. Don't be afraid to get in and post. And again, same with tools. If you've found resources like 8NN or any of the ones that you're putting in there and you've done some stuff or have questions about it, please put that in there so we can all figure out how to do this. So how long I've been talking here? What do we got here? 51 minutes. What I will do just briefly is I will go over a little bit about the Campus Pass and what's happening with that. And again, I have not included hosting yet with it, but it's something that I'm strongly. Um, oh, thank you very much, Craig. My content allowed me to create my N8N. And if you don't know what N8N is, I'll just open it up so that you can actually see it. And I think that all of these ones have a free level. So what did we just do? We got N8N. I put NAN, so this one is a workflow automation. So this one on the screen here, and again, these are ones where basically it says, if you have a particular task that you want and there's some steps that you have to do to follow it, and whether those steps are, going to YouTube, getting a transcription of the YouTube video, analyzing the transcription, writing a blog post, taking the blog post and sending it to whatever, those kind of things that happen, you can use N8N to basically get tasks done. The part that's a little bit different with Lindy is they've got kind of meta agents that do, instead of having to do a workflow out for 3 or 4 pieces to get something, they have one agent that does that. And you're hooking agents together. But N8N is a great one for workflows. That's the one that you'll hear a lot of. The other one is here, you'll hear Make. And again, I'll put all the link to these ones here. I think this one is Make. Yeah, it's make.com. And this is one that's similar to 8NN, same idea that works through here. So it's a workflow, task and workflow one. These are the ones. Bye, Craig. Thanks for coming. And Results Media, hey, thank you very much for that, for coming on. So these are the kind of tools. Again, if you have this stuff, please let me know in some of the groups there, and we'll talk about them and keep on working on them. There's so much opportunity here for all of us. To basically share our expertise. Just think bigger than regurgitating content. That's all I'm asking. Think bigger than that and have your own platform to be able to monetize the people that are excited about what it is that you're particularly doing. And if you want to have some help doing that, here's my sales hat right now, upper right hand corner, and it's trainingsites.io/pass. We have our whole agency side and one-on-one mentoring of things. This is just for the community. If you want to get involved in the community and get hands-on help, this is what you do. You go to the /pass, and when you do that, these are the things that we do on a regular basis, and this is what's included. So each week we work together sessions, and that what that means to you is that is not me talking, not me presenting. We work for an hour and a half on specific tasks or things that you want to work on or that people in the group want to work on. So we actually do this stuff. It's like, okay, this is what we're doing. Let's use this prompt. What did you come up with? Did it work? Did it not work? What problem did you run into? How do you change the prompt to get what it is that you want? It's actually someone to work with to work through all of those particular problems. The other thing that's included with this is the show me how video answers. We have a private group and private messaging for people who have a campus pass, a campus builder. So we have show me how videos. If you run into an issue or a problem, what you can do is just let us know in the group and we will create a how-to video specific to what it is that you're doing to be able to help you out. So it's not just, did you try this? Did you try this? We'll actually do a video for it. The other thing that I'm starting to add are more campus blueprints. And these are all the mind maps and any of the other custom GPTs or applications that we create for you. You get access to those as well. I also have a whole bunch of developer licenses that are available to people in the campus blueprint to create the actual site that you see in front of you. So if you want to create one of these, the software licenses are available. As long as you're a member, you get to use the software licenses. And then implementation of that. So when you're creating your community, you get help from us creating your community. It's not just here you go, create a community. It's like, hey, how do I do this? Or how do I come up with the different menus? Or how should I build my groups and spaces for people to talk to? And if I do want to charge for an area, how do I get it set up for areas? And there's some pricing here. So we have the groups. It's $197 a month, and it includes the software for the community. I do have one where there's additional private mentoring where it's one-on-one, where you have 2 1-hour sessions each month directly with me. And then I do have a live support package, which is basically we take care of everything. So the hosting is done, all the software's there, any changes you want done to your community, that's the stuff in the agency side that we do. So if you want to go take a look at those, and even if you have some additional questions, make sure to reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer them. And there is on the left-hand side, just where my mouse is moving here, there is a work with me one. So if you do want to book some time with me directly, I give 15 minutes one time. If you just want to get kind of started, book some time with me. We'll have a chat, tell me what you're up to, what you want to do, and we'll go from there. So let me go. What else have we got there? Is there any more questions before I finish things up for today? If you haven't, of course, please make sure to join trainingsites.io if you're watching this later. Um, I'm trying to do everything that I can to help everyone who's got experience and a passion for something be able to start, build, and grow an education business. That's my goal. Am I trying to earn some money at it? Yeah, absolutely. Do I do that by selling a campus pass, my services, my time, and access to all of the agency tools that we have? Yeah, absolutely. Am I selling my courses? Nah, not anymore. Not selling any more courses after thousands of videos and probably well over 100 traditional courses. Not doing it anymore. Not involved. AI is going to be doing that anyway, so maybe ahead of the curve, yes, but um, that curve is ballistic now. It's not shallow. We're going straight up, and you're going to actually fall off. If you're not there, you're going to be stuck at the wall and not being able to take advantage of it. So hopefully that helps. Any last questions? Let me finish that. I don't think so. How many people we get on today? 12 people. Cool. I want to thank everyone for coming on. And again, these are live sessions that happen every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. If you are interested again in putting your own content in or your own stuff you're playing with, please make sure to go ahead and do that in the community. I'd love to hear what you're up to. Don't do fancy sales pitches and stuff, but if you've got ideas or questions about stuff, don't be afraid to put it in. And the last thing I will say is I have added on the feed here, if you look on the feeds here, make sure to actually go and try out the custom GPTs that I did, and you'll be able to see the one that is getting your YouTube titles and thumbnail text together, and then also the other one is getting ready for your next Zoom call. These are really cool. I'm going to be doing lots more of them. I think I did 6 yesterday that I haven't published yet, so those ones will be done pretty quickly, and including a video that I show on how to actually do that. So there we go. Mark, hey, thanks for coming from Germany. Anyone else there? I still can't talk for a minute. If you do have a quick question, let me know. I don't have anything set for this afternoon other than making more videos and helping out people. So before I finish, Mark, if you've got a question, again, let me know. Do my best to do that. Let me just see if I've got anything through this as well that might have come in as well. No, I don't think so. Okay, we'll bring it in for a landing then. Thank you much, everyone. Really enjoyed it. I'll be back later today with another video on, actually here, let me just show you. Just because I can, and I'm on a roll here. So one of the things that I just did before we got on is, let me just go to my YouTube studio here. I'll go to YouTube studio and I'll go to my content. I do have one that I just did that isn't published yet. I did that one about 15 minutes before we got on today. So this particular one here is about how to create prompt templates. And in this case, I was creating a prompt template for doing deep research for creating custom GPTs. So this is actually the prompt title and the thumbnail text that I came up with running that additional custom GPT that I did. So this one will actually be, again, this stuff all came out from using custom GPT, cut and paste, simply done, and we're way to the races. And why don't I do this right now? Just because I can, just for fun. Right now it's unlisted. Let's go make it public and save. So there we are, it's public now. that's that's as easy it is, gone public. Let's see what happens. I'll do this one in another video, probably a little bit later today, going over all of this cool stuff. So again, thank you very much. Had fun, and we'll be back again next Wednesday for another great session. Take care, everyone. Expect the best. Like and subscribe to the channel, all that stuff if you haven't already. Bye-bye.